guys, welcome back to an updated simple earring tutorial. This has been one of my most popular videos, but that was done like a million years ago. So I wanted to update it with an updated style and just with some updated technology. So today, what we're going to be making are these earrings. I'm so excited to show you them. They were very easy to make. Here are some of the things that you're going to need. You're going to need, first and foremost, a pair of jewelry pliers. They have the tapered nose at the tip, and they also have wire cutters in them. Speaking of wire cutters, I don't know where mine are, so I'm going to have to make do without mine. I'm just going to have to use this. Next, you're going to need the earring backing. So for this one, I'm using these rose gold ones, and they're called lever back, but you can use any kind that you want. You can use precious metals. You can use custom jewelry like I'm using for today's project. You're going to need head pins. You're going to need your beads that you want for your project. And I also just have scissors. Embroidery thread. So first, you're going to want to create the loop that the embroidery thread is going to be slipped onto. So to start, you're just going to create an L with your pin, as you can see here. And then I used a pen to create the larger loop that the thread will be placed onto. Once the bottom piece is now up at the top of the ball pin, you're going to want to attach your thread or your bead, whatever you want to add for your earrings. In this case, what I did was I took the embroidery thread and I wrapped it around my 2 fingers 10 times so that it created the thickness that you saw in the first clip of this video. Add more embroidery thread if you want them to be thicker and fluffier. I liked this width of the thread, or the fluffiness of this thread. So now that the thread is added, I'm just looping that extra piece. I'm wrapping it around the initial ball pin. I'm cutting off some excess wire so that the loop or the wrapping will lay neatly onto the pin and it won't have any pieces sticking out. Next, I'm taking another piece of embroidery thread, and it's going to be quite long, and I'm going to wrap this around towards the top of my thread to form that tassel shape. I'm going to play with it, make sure it's at the right spot, and I'm going to test out a little knot. With the excess side pieces of thread, I'm going to wrap them around the tassel to create more of a thicker wrap or a thicker knot. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And then I'm going to leave a little excess in the back so that I can tie it all in a knot. Now I'm taking my pliers and I'm going to push aside the little piece to create the opening that I can slide my tasseled loop onto. Here I am attaching the thread loop onto the earring loop and just connecting the two pieces. Once I tighten up the earring backing onto the loop, look at what you get. You could stop right here if you'd like, but I think that I want to up the look of it a little bit, and I'm going to add little beads to the front of it to kind of add another layer to the look. I'm going to take a longer piece of string with one of the beads attached, and I'm going to place it onto my thread and test it out, see where it looks good, and then just tie a knot in the back. Once I like the placement and I play with the placement, I'm going to tie an even tighter knot. Cut off the excess knot string. Now you could stop right there because everything's knotted and everything's assembled, but I took it a step further and used some clear nail polish and dabbed some onto the back of the tassel to kind of lock in place and kind of like glue in place all of the thread so that it never slips up and unties and then ruins your earring.